Well, I think I'm going to probably do some more mechanical videos here pretty soon, but I do want to do like a silver marketing update because I more do these silver videos to counteract the garbage that's out there on YouTube, and I know people are hungry for information. And the few people that really are hungry for information, they're right to be hungry for information. So I want to give a common sense type of display of information and that type of thing without getting too technical. Like I always pointed out, the sales pitch is to actually impress people with charts and knowledge and facts, and it's either you're selling yourself or you're selling a product or whatever. If you're a broker or whatever, you're trying to sell somebody an investment. A lot of brokers can be, I'm going to kind of ad lib here a little bit, but a lot of brokers can be like ambulance chasers. You know how they say that about attorneys? The ambulance chasers, oh great, I could sue somebody and make a big percentage off this client. They do the same thing with brokers, do the same thing. But really what it comes down to strength is being knowing how to do things. Like this lady here, a woman is here changing a tire. Absolutely, one of the classic pinups. But it's knowing how to do stuff. Saves you a couple bucks here and there, so that's practicality. But I'm going to get into a couple other things. Well, first, the markets are going up. Amazing. I don't know. Silver was sitting flat this morning. Now it's up 42 cents. And yesterday, platinum, I was remarking silver, platinum, and palladium are probably going to run pretty close to each other in a very, very general sense. I'm not saying on a daily sense, obviously. But, yesterday, platinum looked like garbage, and then this last night, it was going up a little bit, and then this morning, it's going up again. Like I said, it's going to be more. It's going to eventually be worth more than gold. Even as gold is moving up. So those things will play out. All of them are going to play out. Now I'm going to go on a couple other things. This is actually just Wikipedia, right? Off of John Bonner. He's U.S. Speaker, House of Representatives. I want to discuss something about this guy a little bit. It's right off of Wikipedia. It's just a public thing. It's nothing special. But just so you know who he is, because some people, I don't really get deep involved in knowing who the hell everybody is in Washington, too. But, he's a Speaker of the House, right? But what he's talking about is about the fiscal cliff. And he's already been dropping all kinds of hints about, we can't, take all these tax cuts and stuff like that and all this garbage. The fiscal cliff is this. Simple. I'm not going to try to say, here's all the charts and here's how it's going to go. It's over a little bit of a time period. It's, it's already hitting. It's mainly February to April. It's like that's the deadlines, right? It's sharp tax hikes and sharp spending cuts. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, it's really what you just need to know. And but John Bonner, the Speaker of the House, is already Republican, is already talking about we can't let this happen. Now, what's interesting, if you don't realize, he's one of the Newt Gingrich gang with the contract with America, and Newt Gingrich tried to close down the government. You remember that stuff? I don't know if you remember that. That was back in the 90s, like 95 or something, or 96, I believe it was. Or some, it was around there. It was 95, 96. They actually closed down the government. I'm doing this from memory. But you know what happened? They didn't close crap down. There's people, government people that went home, and guess what happened? They got paid. They went on a free, I'm laughing, but they went on a free vacation. The whole thing was a bunch of BS. So this is where, he was like the contract with America. We're going to have fiscal responsibility and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? He's already talking about, over curtailing this fiscal cliff. But you know what that means? Gold is going to do good. I'm not talking about the markets, the equities. I'm talking about gold. And I'm assuming silver too. Silver, even though it's industrial, hey, even like platinum and palladium, which are even more industrial, people are going to start looking at it when they start seeing the dollar is not such a healthy thing, because they're not going to keep in their contract. The contract with America, remember that? They're all a bunch of BS. Romney's a bunch of BS too, because, the one thing I hated the most about Obama is Obamacare, but we'll have Romney care. These guys are all a bunch of talk. They don't freaking actually change nothing. So you got to, as individuals, we got to be sharp. Now I was looking at this on this news unit, Ann Barnhart, economic presentation. Um, this lady, I kind of agree with her, but she's pretty crazy. I'll tell you that. The one thing is, I have to point out though, what she says is true, but it was true 3 years ago too, also, and 4 years ago about the banking system. The banking system is not really shored up as much as people think. And I'm going to go onto the site. It's actually showed this like way over a year ago or some crap, so I'm going to show it again here because that was like way over a year ago. But say, for instance, you want to look up your bank. She was talking about troubled assets. And in a nutshell, basically what it is like a bank puts a loan out there for a mortgage, and things like the property's worth $250,000 when they put the loan out, but now actually it's only worth $160,000 on the market, so you got a $90,000 loss, but it's not a recognized loss until you sell it. It's unrecognized loss. But the point is, in reality, I guess they should be marking that down, but it's almost like anything. But across the board, that real estate boom that we had, I mean, with all the loans that they made. So here's the Fed buying up mortgage-backed securities and stuff. But she's saying the whole banking system is fragile. Now, the one thing I want to point out is, say, for instance, I'm going to just pick one out. This is like, now, if you want to look and see if your bank is fragile, because that was something she was bringing up. There probably is a lot of truth to the whole entire banking system being fragile. But, she's a little bit, like the sky's going to fall next week. So I don't know. I look at that one too. She's another one a little bit, with the pink AR-15, and the IRS is after her, and then she's going to take off, and I don't know what the hell. This lady's a little crazy too, but they're all nuts. They're all nuts. I'm nuts too. But anyway, I'm going to give you some good facts on this, because that is a decent one about the banking system. So if you're like, say, I'll put New Jersey on there. I was going to put Florida, but let's say New Jersey. I'll post a link. Damn thing moves, and you go and you look for your bank, and it'll tell you the trouble asset ratio. And I'll just pick Newark. Beautiful place. Anyway, it's not bad in all places. Newark, where the hell are you, baby? Damn it, there it is. And I'll just pick one of them out here. I don't know, PNC Bank National Association. So here you go. Here's the troubled asset ratio, right? That's something to look at very carefully. National median is the blue line, and and actually these guys are in good shape. I mean, they're a little bit above the national median, but it's when they get up to about 90%, you don't want to be in that bank, even if it's up anywhere near 50%. You don't want to be in that bank. This is something you should look up your bank and watch out. The troubled asset ratio. So it's a sum of the troubled assets with the sum of Tier 1 capital assets plus loan loss reserves. Generally speaking, a higher value shows that it's under more stress. So this is something it's a public chart. It's just something very easy to look up. Investigative reporting workshop. Very easy to look up. So, she's basically right about this stuff, but the sky isn't going to fall as fast as these people say. That's what's crazy about them. Now, I want to point out something else. You say silver stackers. People are silver stackers. They're stacking all the shiny metal. I'm a coconut oil stacker too. It's like I don't really think about just silver, because silver is something that, the one thing I think about silver like that I can use is colloidal silver, but I just use these metal rods. I don't cook up some coins or something like that. So, I don't really think about this stuff that much, but I'm going to tell you this. Gold traders right now are more bullish on gold than they have been in 2 months. And silver, there's no reason it can't go right back up to the 35 level and blast right through it. So, but I don't think that's nothing, because I'm not considering selling any till it gets above and breaks a new high, an all-time high in real, not real dollars, but in dollars per se. I'm not considering selling any of it till that time, and I think that time is going to come out pretty soon. But just like anything, if something gets too far ahead, don't be afraid to sell. Now, something else I want to put out this. I'm not going to show anything, but it's called the broker check. Now, I looked up Chapman on here. There's a lot of ways you can look up all kinds of stuff. CPAs, licenses for insurance people. There's everything, real estate licenses, mortgage broker licenses. It's all on the web, actually. All these things, and they go back far. They go back far. Like, for instance, his brokerage check thing goes back, like, I don't know, at least the 60s. Because Chapman's license, like, originally, the first one was in 1960. And, I found, anyway, there was a lot of stuff on here. I don't want to talk too much about him, but there was a lot of stuff on here that I picked up on, but people just want to listen to people because they know how to. I know how to talk too. I'm just talking right off the cuff here, but I know how to talk. Actually, I'm noted for having a very influential personality. It's like I'm not even really putting on the full blast that I really could, and I'm not really used to doing it this way as much. I'm usually face to face, client to client, that me to client. But I know how to talk too. I mean, I could play that game, but I'm just being. But I'm also noted for being somebody who sticks his neck out and is very honest too. That's another thing. So I get in trouble for that sometimes. But I'm going to actually say this. Speaking of sticking my neck out, because every time I say anything critical of this guy, it seems like I'll lose subscribers. But screw it. Greg Manarino. I really don't dislike the guy or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you where I was coming from. He's actually a little bit better than most of them. I'll tell you that. But I seen I'm not going to mention what I was associated with or anything, but down in South Florida, they have these big boutique investment brokerage firms where they custom tailor your portfolio. And I seen other people that were a lot smarter and brighter than him, so I wasn't totally impressed with him, and I'm not totally impressed with those other guys either, because basically I was always considered them ambulance chasers. I just kind of considered. I just read right off of what Greg. He's selling his book, and every time I hear this line, "Gee, fellows, I'm really blessed to have people like you supporting me," and every time I see a donate freaking PayPal button, I mean they got dumb broads putting that on their damn Twitter accounts and Tumblr accounts too, I mean, it's what the hell you got a damn donate button for? Anybody puts that shit on, I don't like that stuff. All right, so it's I don't really think too much of the guy that much. I mean, I don't really think nothing bad about him, but I just big deal. I listen to Mark Farber. I mean, I never saw him put a donate button on his freaking blog, did he? I mean, I haven't noticed one. Anyway. But I'm going to point something else out because, we got all this emergency crap out here, and Barnhart talked about, all your freaking money is guaranteed by the FDIC up to $250,000. And there's a lot of bright people with a lot of money think that's so they put all their money in different banks. That ain't going to matter too. When the freaking stupid this stuff does crash, the FDIC won't do a damn thing about anything because they ain't able to have the money. They'll just have to print the money or back it up with more money, which makes the money worth less and less. Thus, like I'm telling you, the gold traders right now are really bullish. So, the silver's not going down to $15, buddy. I mean, you're telling everybody. You know what I mean? It ain't. But here's what's going to be with, the FDIC. Here's a good example of another government agency. This is actually right off the door of something that was just happened a couple weeks ago, or just in the last week here. FEMA Center closed due to weather. FDIC closed due to banking crisis. We're out of money. What do you want? We can't insure you no more. So that's my take on that garbage. Anyway. Now, the other thing is I want to diverge on this something. We're always thinking about silver as the biggest investment in the world. There's other things out there. Actually, I know I could probably make more money off these damn videos doing health stuff, but I kind of like putting out the silver stuff because I'm totally disgusted with some of the yo-yos out there that think they're idiots. So they're not idiots. They're I don't know what the hell they are. They're just freaking, I don't know. They aggravate me anyway. And I'm not talking about Greg. I'm talking about a lot of them, But anyway, you can probably make more money. I realize I probably could because this is the truth. People don't even think about silver. You know what they think about? How they feel. They think about Mental alertness, sexual dysfunction. Viagra, big seller, right? With males, right? Menopause, females. Aging skin, that's mainly, well, with everybody. Hair loss with everybody. Hormone replacement therapy with everybody. Insomnia with everybody. You know, none of these things actually can be addressed with silver, but a lot of them can be addressed with coconut oil. So maybe you need to be a coconut oil stacker too. I've also pointed out that you know, that people that are too lopsided into silver, actually the people that are really lopsided into food storage and survivability, like in a true nuts and bolts way, they're probably going to be way better off than the people that are just solely focused on silver. I'm going to actually recommend this lady. She's wearing coconut top here, but coconut is probably one of your best things around for longevity, anti-aging, sexual dysfunction, brain fog, the whole deal. Antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. Great for collaborating, fixing the skin from the inside and out. Great for hair. So, I just displayed a whole bunch of things that people spend the most on medical on, and you really can't address those with silver, but you can address them with coconut oil. So, balance your portfolio with some coconut oil. At one point in time, maybe you want to trade some silver for some coconut oil. I don't know. We'll look at that ratio one day. I don't know if there is a ratio. But where I get this stuff from is off of Amazon. I use Parachute. But some of these things, you got to balance everything out with everything. And I'm just going to leave you with this thought. The fiscal cliff is probably not going to be a cliff. It's probably going to be a dud. That guy, John Bonner, which was part of the Newt Gingrich team with the contract with America, he's not going to let it happen. He's already talking, and they're going to have a statement out today with Obama and all this kind of crap. They're already going to start hinting what's going on. And you know what that's going to do to the metals? It's going to make them go up, up, up. I mean, I don't need a chart for that crap. And, I'm speaking like Mr. Mark Farber might. I mean, what do you think his common sense, horse sense, Mr. Mark Farber's horse sense is about? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of technical people out there, and I think it's great, but you got to balance it out with personality and what these clowns are going to do, because they are clowns. They're full of shit. I mean, I don't know what the hell to say. They say like that even as I'm more Republican than Democrat, so don't get me wrong, but this John Bonner guy, whatever it is, he talked about the contract of America back in 95. I think it was 95. And guess what? They didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't, they were going to shut down the government. They just gave everybody a free vacation. That's all they did. So this fiscal cliff, it's not going to happen, but there's one thing that has to happen to keep things rolling. They're going to have to expand the money supply, print more money. The dollar is going to be devalued. Maybe not against other currencies, but against hard assets. So the traders are lining up for another bull run in gold. So here we go. The cliff is probably going to happen maybe on the equities. That's a whole nother story. Or the bond market. That's a whole nother story. But silver and gold, that is your safety. And coconut oil too. Balance out your portfolio.